Hello, beta. Good morning, everyone. Beta, the exam are just approaching now. We have our first exam of Intermediate Microeconomics. So today, I want all of you to go ahead and revise Unit 1 and Unit 2 of Intermediate Microeconomics. एक पैटर्न से चलेंगे बेटा. आज that is 20th of May, we will revise Unit 1 and Unit 2 completely. ठीक है, आज का दिन we just have to give to Unit 1 and Unit 2. तो पहले एक बारी मैं बता देती हूँ कि how you will be going ahead and revising. So for students, पहले let me tell you, for students who have enrolled with me, क्या करोगे ना, you will go through all these 6 lectures of Chapter 10 Monopoly. As you can see, we have covered everything in detail. It is going to take a lot of your time. So I want you to start right away. और जब तक ये Unit 1 and 2 पूरा खत्म ना हो जाए, nobody is going to end their day for the day. So you will go ahead and do all the chapters of chapter number 10. ठीक है, उसके बाद you will start and you will do first the recorded questions बेटा. Where you are seeing these recorded numericals now, you will go ahead and do these recorded numericals first. And after that, you will not stop. You will do this assignment also. जो भी ये assignment दिया हुआ है, this assignment is very, very important from exam point of view. And all of you will cover this assignment also. ठीक है? I think this part, if I just talk about chapter number 10, chapter 10 will take approximately, let me be very, very clear to you, approximately 6 hours for your entire revision. So if you start at 12 o'clock today, 6 बजे तक, by 6 o'clock, you should be able to revise chapter number 10 thoroughly. ठीक है? उसके बाद what you will do, you will begin with chapter number 11, right? And you will go ahead and start with chapter 11. Say take half an hour break and then start with chapter number 11 today, and then do these 2 lectures of chapter number 11 and followed by all the recorded questions and assignments. Once you are done with chapter 10 and chapter 11, all of you will scroll down beta, और यहाँ पर ना you will be able to see the past year questions, important past year questions of Monopoly. You need to go ahead and you need to do all these past year questions also. ये भी आप लोग cover करोगे, and that will finish your Unit 1 and Unit 2 for you. ठीक है? Now, once you have done Unit 1 and Unit 2 from this portal, you have seen all the lectures again. एक बार बैठ के सारे lectures दोबारा देखने हैं, notes बनाने हैं. You need to make sure that you have done all the numericals that are discussed within the chapter, in the assignment and in the recorded question. After that, what you will go ahead and do, let me just give you some important topics. You will go ahead and see whether you have covered these important topics or not. So let me just share a list that I have created. Okay, give me a minute. Now I am going to share a list of important topics with you. So once you have revised chapter 10 and 11 from the portal, you will go ahead and you will do these important topics. ध्यान से सुनना बच्चे, what kind of questions will be asked. The first question is going to be from learners index. From learners index, they can ask you anything. कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं. जैसे they can ask you find the elasticity. So they will give you that price is 40, marginal cost is 25, find elasticity of demand. ठीक है? Or they can reverse the question. They can tell you कि marginal cost is 5, elasticity of demand is -2, find price. ठीक है? Or they can ask you a relationship between price and elasticity. Right? They can ask you a relationship between price and elasticity. तो क्या करेंगे ना? They will give you some options. Like they will tell you that when price is 4, find elasticity, given marginal cost is 3. And when price is 5, find elasticity and draw conclusions. बोलेंगे इसमें से कुछ conclusions बताओ. What do you conclude? What do you think? ठीक है? So you need to remember the conclusion that you will always be able to charge more price where elasticity is low. So you have to make sure that you get this result, that wherever more price has been charged, एब्सोल्यूट सेंस में, इन एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स, यहाँ पे इलास्टिसिटी शुड बी लो, राइट? सो दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन कैन बी आस्क्ड इन एग्जाम, दिस काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप कैन बी आस्क्ड टू यू, ठीक है? The next question that will be asked to you from unit 1 and unit 2 will be on a multi-plant monopolist. तो for example, I go ahead and I give you a function बेटा, जैसे मैंने आपको दे दिया कि P is equal to 100 minus 2Q, right? Where Q is the total quantity, right? And अब मैंने आपको क्या बोला ना, I am telling you that there are two cost functions, cost function 1 and cost function 2. This is the cost associated with production in plant 1, and this is the cost associated with production in plant 2, C2, right? Now, when we talk about plant 1, तो we are saying that suppose कुछ एक cost function दिया हुआ है 4Q1 plus 8Q1 square plus 200, और यहाँ पे कोई और cost function दिया हुआ है say 2Q1 plus 7Q2 square plus 1000, right? So I am asking, sorry, Q2 कर दो यहाँ पे, I am asking you find how much quantity you will produce with plant 1 and how much quantity you will produce with plant 2. So this kind of question is very, very common and it can be asked in exam. So we have already studied that to solve these questions, this is the relationship that you will be going ahead and using. You will be using MR is equal to MC1 is equal to MC2. Just use this condition and solve this question. ठीक है बेटा? So this is a sample question. Here you are given a demand relationship. आपको एक demand relation दिया होगा. You will be given total cost of plant 1 and total cost of plant 2. जैसे ऐसा कुछ भी बोल देंगे that maybe this is in India and then you have one plant in US. And then they will ask you how much quantity will you produce in India and how much quantity will monopolist produce in US. The second kind of question जो वो यहाँ पे दे सकते हैं, they can ask you कि assume that earlier monopolist was only in India. पहले monopolist के सारे function India में ही थे. I have done a similar question with the recorded numericals also, beta. So suppose I tell you that earlier the entire function of monopolist was only in India. So find what is the quantity produced and profit. And now the monopolist has expanded to US. So monopolist has two plants. How much quantity will he produce in India and how much in US? So this kind of questions can be asked in exam and you need to be well thorough with this kind of question. Question number 3, beta, you can be asked about the deadweight loss. Deadweight loss mein there will be two kind of questions that will be asked. The first kind of question will be on constant marginal cost. So in constant marginal cost, now they will be giving you a marginal cost which is looking like this. Fixed marginal cost है, and they will be asking you find deadweight loss of the monopolist. एक price function दे देंगे, say 10 minus Q, right? They will ask you find deadweight loss of the monopolist. ठीक है, इसी में they can ask you find consumer surplus and producer surplus. ये सब भी डाल के दे सकते हैं. So you need to remember that if I have constant marginal cost, again beta, this question I have discussed in lecture also. So if you have constant marginal cost, आपका marginal cost ये हो गया, आपका price function ये demand function हो गया. This is your AR curve. This is 10 here and 10 here. And just below this, this will be your MR curve, isn't it? So we know that MR will be equal to MC at this point, and इस point से we will be able to find the price charged by monopolist. And once I know the price charged by monopolist, तो ये वाला जो part हो जाएगा, this is going to be my deadweight loss. So this is the first kind of question that can be asked in exam where you will be having constant marginal cost. Definitely ऐसा पूछ सकते हैं, although this is very simple. More chances are that in exam they will be asking you question based on increasing marginal cost. तो क्या करेंगे ना, they will give you a total cost function which looks like this. जैसे 4Q1 square. This is your total cost function. So you realize कि अगर total cost function ऐसा हो जाएगा, so my marginal cost will be how total cost changes as quantity changes. And if I were to differentiate this with respect to Q1, so I will get 8Q1. So marginal cost is a function of quantity. देख पा रहे हो? It's not constant anymore. It's a function of quantity. और इस केस में क्या हो रहा है ना, that as quantity will increase, marginal cost will also increase. So this is my marginal cost function. फिर से rest other things are same only कि you will get your AR curve. AR को आप यहाँ से half करोगे तो you will get your MR curve. ठीक है, MR equal to MC पे ये रहा quantity. You will take this quantity to AR curve, find the price. This will be your deadweight loss. This is a more common kind of question that can come in exam. They will ask you deadweight loss, but marginal cost can be increasing. समझे? Marginal cost is not a constant thing, but it's increasing. So this can be asked in exam. ठीक है बेटा, the next thing that can be asked in exam is advertising in monopoly. Again, I have posted one recorded question on your portal also on this. So in advertising in monopoly, what they will do, they will give you a price function. ऐसा कुछ दे देंगे कि this is equal to 100 minus 7Q minus A या plus A, कुछ भी. That as you increase the cost of advertising, तो आपका जो price आप charge कर पा रहे हो, that also increases. Here you can have root A also. Here you can have ln A also. ऐसा कुछ. It has to be a function of A. Huh? Then they will go ahead and they will ask you find the equilibrium quantity and advertising expenditure if the marginal cost is 4 per unit. So very simple question, beta. You will make a profit function, which will be total revenue minus total cost, and differentiate this once with respect to quantity and once with respect to A, equate it to 0. ठीक है, तो इससे क्या होगा? You will get two equations. Equation number 1, equation number 2. Solve them simultaneously and get the equilibrium. A star and Q star. So this kind of question can again be asked from your unit 1 and unit 2. Very good kind of question, which will ask you to find optimal amount of advertising and optimal quantity. Okay. Then the next thing that can be asked in exam, this is going to be related to monopsony. Again, I have done a recorded question and posted on the portal. Please try to look into that question also. So you will be given some wage function. आपको कोई एक wage function दे देंगे. And you will be given the quantity also as a function of labor. And you will be told that L represents the number of labor hours. L represents the number of labor hours. And you will be asked to go ahead and find L star. तो कुछ नहीं करना होगा. You need to just go ahead and make a profit function. Profit function will be total revenue minus total cost. Total revenue is price into quantity. Total cost will be just WL. Here, this is the trick. That total cost is the wage paid to the labor. Now, wage is also a function of labor. So you will plug this here. Quantity is also a function of labor. You will plug this here. You will be given some constant price. जैसे अगर price को 10 दे देते हैं, so it will be 10. And once you are given this, तो पूरा का पूरा function will be a function of labor. So you just have to go ahead and differentiate the profit with respect to L, equate it to 0, and find the equilibrium amount of labor. In this only they can extend this. They can from here ask you कि find the equilibrium number of amount of output. तो labor का value यहाँ पे plug in कर देंगे. You will get the equilibrium amount of output. And in this only they can ask you find the equilibrium amount of profit. ठीक है? So you can just plug it back in the profit function and get profit. So this kind of question again is important from point of view of exam. Next thing that can be asked in exam beta, that will be comparison of uniform pricing with price discrimination, first degree price discrimination. है ना? तो एक बात हमेशा याद रखना, first of all, that in first degree price discrimination, consumer surplus will be 0. Deadweight loss will be 0. Producer surplus will be entire consumer surplus. So you need to make sure that you understand these facts well. कि whatever consumer surplus you will get, you have to give that to the producer. वो producer surplus बन जाएगा. Consumer surplus in itself will be 0 and deadweight loss will also be 0. So this can definitely be asked in exam. ठीक है? But other than this, एक चीज जो थोड़ा tricky है, which can be asked in exam, that can be a non-linear demand function बेटा. थोड़ा ध्यान से समझ लेना. So if you have a linear demand function, माने if you're given P is equal to 10 minus Q, this is a linear demand function. ऐसा कुछ है. Right? So then in this case, you can Suppose you are given marginal cost is equal to 5, ऐसा कुछ दिया हुआ है ना, this is 10, this is given to you. And this is a simple question to be solved. यहाँ पे आप consumer surplus निकाल लोगे as half into base into height, and from consumer surplus you will just go ahead and give that to the producer. वो आपका producer surplus बन जाएगा. But this question is easy because you just have to find the area of this triangle, right? This is a linear demand curve, but what can be given to you in exam will be a non-linear demand curve. So for example, if you are given P is equal to A Q to the power minus 2, something like this, that means you are given a rectangular hyperbola beta. तो अगर आपको एक rectangular hyperbola दिया हुआ है, as I have always told you, in this case there is no way to find area of the triangle. Please don't do that. So in this case you need to do integration, है ना? So once you find out this quantity and this price, to find the consumer surplus, you will do integration, right? You will integrate the demand curve, and that will give you consumer surplus. So make sure that you do these kind of questions very well. चाहे आप consumer surplus uniform price में निकालो या first degree में, you have to be well aware between the two cases as to what happens when you have a linear demand curve and what happens when you have a non-linear demand curve. In दोनों ही cases को you need to do this well. Okay, then I have posted even in my recorded numericals a question on block pricing. This is a common question that can be asked in this year's exam. It can come from for 7 to 8 marks. तो इसको हमें अच्छे से prepare करना है. So you will be told something like this, that consider a consumer, a monopolist, who wants to charge a price of 4 per unit till, or you will be given a price function, let's say. तो आपको एक price function दे देंगे that P is equal to 12 minus Q, and then you will be charged, you will be said that this monopolist, he wants to offer discount if you purchase till quantity Q1, till quantity, no, he wants to charge a higher price if you purchase till quantity Q1, but if the consumer purchases anything more than Q1, then the consumer will be offered a discount. ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ wording होगा, that consider a monopolist who wants to sell Q2 units, and till the first Q1 units he wants to sell that at a higher price, and then post Q1 units he wants to go ahead and offer a discount, right? So then you will be asked to find the price he will be charging for this block and find the price he will be charging in this block, P1 star and P2 star. So in such questions, beta, we have already gone ahead and we have done the condition. And you should remember the condition that we had gone ahead and done. Usi condition se you can go ahead and solve. The other thing that you can do is you can just make this profit function. So this will be price charged in block 1 into quantity sold to block 1, price charged in block 2 into quantity sold to block 2, minus that quantity, minus the cost of producing this total quantity. You will go ahead and differentiate this function with respect to Q1, equated to 0, differentiate it with respect to Q2, equated to 0, solve the two equations simultaneously, get Q1 star and Q2 star. So this question can be asked in exam. Again, you need to go ahead and practice this kind of question. Okay. Then there will be a question, there can be a question on third degree price discrimination. This is the most common question seen in the past year papers. So if you just go back to your past year papers, 2018, 19, 20, 21, all the past year papers, you will realize that third degree price discrimination is one of the most common questions asked. And therefore, beta, this is very, very important from exam point of view. कुछ चीजें एग्जामिनर की फेवरेट होती हैं और उन चीजों को कभी भी स्किप नहीं करना चाहिए, तो ये उनमें से एक है, and you should be well aware of this. ठीक है. At last, just one last thing, very important from unit 1 plus unit 2, that is the question on bundling. Now, this topic was not there till last year. This has been a newly added topic. And क्योंकि ये topic अभी add हुआ है, therefore it may be asked in exam. The examiner may want to test you on this topic. So it is my high request that you go ahead and do these bundling questions. Definitely, अगर ये exam में आता है, it will come for 12 to 15 marks directly. So you have to be aware with all the conditions of bundling. जो हमने एक full fledged lecture लिया है bundling के ऊपर, you have to be very well aware about that. And for practicing questions on bundling, you can go to the back of the book, back of unit 2 of your book. हाँ, और उसमें से everyone will do question number 15, 17 and 19. If you do these questions well, बेटा, तो I can guarantee you कि आप bundling का कोई भी question solve कर पाओगे. So first of all, you will revise the concept of bundling from the lectures, from the book or lectures. And after revising this topic from the back questions, all of you will do question number 15, 17 and 19 of bundling. These are very, very important from exam point of view. अगर ये अच्छे से समझ में आ गए तो हम ये guaranteed हैं कि if this question comes as a single question of 12 to 15 marks, we will be able to get full marks in this question. Again, as I have been telling you, this is going to be a completely mathematical paper. Don't expect any theory. Maximum backs microeconomics में ही आती हैं. Lowest marks भी microeconomics ही लाता है और highest भी micro ही लेके आता है. It depends on how much good you are with your concepts and how good you can perform the numericals. As a faculty with Delhi University, I can tell you that we were always asked to give you step marking. तो steps लिखना बहुत ही जरूरी है. So for example, if you see a question on third degree price discrimination, you need to make sure कि आप examiner को बताओ that you know the condition that in each market, you know, you will equate MR1 to MC and MR2 to MC. Right? ये condition लिखने के ही, believe me, if the question is of 7 marks, you will get 1 marks just for writing this condition. So make sure that you understand कि step marking होती है. If you have found out marginal revenues correctly, हाँ, and you have equated it to marginal cost, तो 3 marks मिल जाएंगे. Even if your final quantity may be incorrect. So there is definitely step marking at Delhi University, and because I have in depth seen it, I am telling you that it is very important that you go ahead and write each and every step in microeconomics. Also, jitna bhi aata hai, you go ahead and write that. A lot of times we will give some step marking. So uske hisab se you need to write the answers. Okay, beta. So this is it from unit 1 and unit 2. We will go ahead. No, beta, I am talking about the book that we are following. The book that we are following is AMG and Cyrano. Right? We are not following Snyder this year. So please don't go for Snyder. Please follow the Delhi University books, AMG and Cyrano. These are the books that are followed for Eco Honors Sem 4. So we need to follow the same books. Right? Okay, so that is it. That is there for today, beta. I wish you all the very luck. Please try to finish unit 1 and unit 2 today itself, so that tomorrow we can go ahead and discuss what is important from the point of view of unit 3. Okay, beta. Thank you.